Am I the asshole for getting my daughter a hotel room entirely for herself after her stepsisters made her sleep on the floor?
Oh, a Cinderella story.
My dad passed away 2 weeks ago. Me, my wife, Candace, and my daughter, 16, Shiloh, and her stepsisters, 19 and 17, flew to my hometown to attend the funeral. After that, we got 2 hotel rooms, one for me and Candace, one for the girls. While I was in the room, I got a call from Shiloh at 11 p.m. crying and sounding like she was arguing with her stepsisters. I asked what the matter was, and she told me that her stepsisters insisted that she sleep on the floor. I asked why, and she said she didn't know. There was one large bed in the room, and there was enough space for all 3 girls to sleep on. I went to see what the issue was and talked with my stepdaughters about it. They kept talking, but didn't really explain why they told her to sleep on the floor. They just shrugged and said, "It's better this way. We're more comfortable this way." I told Shiloh to grab her things, and when one of my stepdaughters asked where we were going, I told her I was booking Shiloh a hotel room. Both looked upset, but didn't say anything. But they must have called their mom because she was awake when I got back and started arguing with me about giving Shiloh an entire hotel room to herself. I explained why I did it, but she said I wasted money and that Shiloh could have sucked it up for one night on the floor. I called her unreasonable for saying this, but she told me I showed the girls that I'm, quote, playing favorites, and made my stepdaughters share a room while I gave my daughter an entire room for herself. We went home and Candace is still bringing it up, saying I mishandled this. She even pointed out how my stepdaughters are upset since they're not speaking to me. Edit to add, it was Candace who got a room for the 3 girls as to not stir any drama and save money. She was in charge of hotel reservations since I was emotionally distressed. Also, Candace did not expect Shiloh to sleep on the floor. She wanted all 3 girls to share the bed.
Am I pissed with her for doing that? Not at all.
No.
Not in the least.
Mm-mm.
If one of the stepsisters and Shiloh was forcing the other one out and they were being mean to one of the other girls, I would have protected that case. I think that the mistake that the stepgirl's mother made is that she didn't make a reservation in a room that was big enough to accommodate everybody comfortably.
Completely agree. I also know, like, obviously they're a blended family.
Mm-hmm.
And so the 2 daughters might not be as comfortable as sharing a bed with their stepsister.
Mm-hmm.
So at least get a room with 2 queen beds.
Right. It wasn't difficult.
It's not hard. Or ask the hotel, hey, do you have a cot available? Do you have a room with a bed and a pull-out couch? Why are you forcing 3 basically adult girls
in the same bed?
What's the disconnect here?
Dumb.
She was setting, the stepmom who booked this was kind of setting them up for disaster. It just doesn't seem right.
It wasn't set up for success.
No, not at all.
There you go. So no, you are not an asshole.
Mm-mm. No.
Is there more? You always have more. You always hold out and come back later. Oh, I got this. I got that.
Sometimes, not every time.
How about this time?
I just have another edit to add. For those that are calling me an asshole for giving my daughter her name, her mom did that and she's deceased, so let's not focus on that. Also, I've known my stepdaughters since they were little. We're pretty much family, and Candace is a stay-at-home mom, but I give her full access to my money since this stuff was already discussed beforehand. Pretty much everything was ... The top comment on this one, what I'm getting from this is that your stepdaughters were trying to live up to the Disney depiction of stepsisters and were shocked when they couldn't just bully her into getting what they want. What's extra gross is that they did it when coming back from Shiloh's grandparents' funeral. Talk about cruel. You're definitely not the asshole, but also what the fuck is wrong with Candace if she sees this as plain favorites? Her daughters tried to make yours sleep on the floor for fun. Sounds like the apple don't fall far from the tree. Have you pointed out your daughter is also upset because of the situation and she is playing favorites? Which is true. You have to remember this whole context of OP's dad died 2 weeks ago. This isn't a joyous vacation.
Mm-mm.
This is a very sad time a very emotional
This was
time.
This was bad.
And for the wife to say, oh, well, I didn't expect Shiloh, your daughter, to sleep on the floor. Okay, well, your daughters ganged up on her, bullied her, told her to sleep on the floor. So I solved it. I gave an easy solution. Let's get her her own hotel room.
Done.
They can't get along in one room.
Done.
We're not monitoring them.
Done. This is easy.
And
Done.
so the wife should be like, okay, cool. But it literally, this is Cinderella. This is an alternate universe Cinderella.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
Mm-mm.
The next comment is worse. The stepsisters got what they wanted, but were upset that the person who they took advantage of was accommodated. Next comment, exactly. If they just wanted the bed to themselves, it's a win-win. They are only upset because stepsister was not miserable with the outcome.
She got her own room, but she still left, and she was sad because of the treatment.
Yeah, I mean,
that was really what it was.
Blended families are hard, and it's interesting that they have such contention despite, like, it sounds like their families were kind of friends growing up, and I don't know. But just because your family's friends doesn't mean you're going to be friends with kids your similar age. So
very sad. It
is sad. And it's sad to, I mean, I think divorce is sad, but I think the death of a parent is more sad.
Well, it's interesting because in divorce, I don't think anything is easy.
No.
And, I know that most kids see so much divorce that they kind of, because of their friends, they kind of know maybe what to expect or not what to. I mean, again, I don't think there's any surety in how anybody behaves in this
yeah.
thing. But when you lose a grandparent, it's so out of control. It's so permanent in a way that you love. I mean, your grandparent typically was always,
No. The girl that was getting bullied, her mom is deceased.
It was her mom that was deceased.
Both. Shiloh was going to the grandpa's funeral, her dad's dad, but her mom is also deceased. So it's not like she can even go back after this whole experience and escape this household and the stepsisters and go to the mom. It's kind of, she's in that house with these kids. And
it really was the true Cinderella syndrome. And it's sad that these girls were mean girls. And it's not like the dad could have walked in there and said, you guys are all sisters now, knock this shit off.
Yeah.
Because
kids are going to be kids.
And then, there's some animosity. The fact that he just said, sweetie, you're out of here. Let's go get you a room. These girls want to be by themselves. They can be by themselves. And because if he left them there, even if he fixed the problem by saying, hey, knock this shit off, which typically a father of 3 children would do. He would say, knock this shit off.
Yeah.
But in this case, he was going to leave and these girls would be there to torture, Shiloh again. And so he really did the smart play, at least on this one, where he just said, they want to be by themselves, or I'm going to easily get you a room and you're fine. It just goes back to what was the wife thinking when she booked this room and she didn't get them,
multiple beds,
the multiple beds, to make sure that this was done in a way that it would not ever have backfired.
Yeah, set your kids up for success, especially if you're in a blended family. There's hotel rooms too that have adjoining rooms. You could have left the door open to not...
They have a couch.
But also at the same time, they're 19, 17, and 16. Like, the 19-year-old's an adult. Why are you bullying your stepsisters?
And why is this mother putting 3 adult women in one bed?
Still got 2 kiddos. But yeah, I think something's up here, but I'm happy with the way Dad handled it. I think this is a wake-up call, seeing how his daughter's getting treated, and hopefully moves forward in a good, healthy direction.
And blends this family together. Yeah,
I can't see any comments from OP anymore, but it does look like he kind of said, like, no, this isn't a usual. Like, no one fights like this usually. So hopefully he'll keep more of an eye and at least this situation was handled properly, especially, we've seen a lot of familial meltdowns today. And this one at least was, he advocated for his kid when he needed to.